Hi! Okay, so this is actually the video I wanted to do today, but I had a few problems with it, unfortunately, so here's to hoping that I fixed everything. So these are just cabinet doors that I ended up painting red that are unfortunately chipping away at me, so the more I use it, the more it's going to have more character to it. But this is what I'm using as the paper press. So when the paper is done drying and all that fun stuff, which you guys will be seeing tomorrow, maybe? I know you're going to see some of the process tomorrow for it. But when the paper is drying, it does have a tendency to like curl up a little bit, like most paper that's wet and you're drying it, it tends to curl up a little bit. So I made a paper press. So when it's done and ready to come off the paper towel, it's gonna make sense tomorrow. I know it's not sounding right, doesn't sound correct right now, but the whole thing I'm saying is gonna make a lot of sense tomorrow, hopefully. But I'm gonna actually be putting the paper on here to flatten it out better, or just to flatten out in general, so it'll be easier to put in the bigger bin with the yellow lid, because that is where all of my paper is at currently that I've made so far. Just to make double sure on that one. So this is the face, so this would be the top part. And then this is the inside, because it's a even flat surface. I actually put 2 pieces of cardboard in here, which there's a small side over here where this really thick part is at. I'm gonna skew it up so you can't really tell. But there's like a little line right here. And then I have a thicker piece under where the little line is, so it'd be a little bit sturdier, if that makes sense. But I sanded it all down. I sanded it down and painted it, but like I said, it's kind of already chipping away on me a little bit, so I'm a little disappointed, but as time goes on, it's going to have more character the more I use it and stuff like that. I glued the inside part of it, then put the cardboard down, and then I did another round of glue for the top layer, so like coat everything, if that makes sense. Again, my wording is terrible. Should have recorded it, but I didn't think about it. And then I painted everything with a red tone. I'm not sure what. I just know it's red. I'm not sure what color it is, like what kind of red it is, like fire truck red or something, but it's a nice red. But I did both of the doors, and I only marked one side. Like I only marked one door, and then I drilled it through to the other side with the other one, just to make it a little bit easier and saved me a little bit of time instead of trying to remeasure everything out and hope to God I had everything even Stevens, which unfortunately I didn't. Like the holes are still in the same places as they were the other day, but I didn't make the holes big enough. So during the video that kept getting messed up today, like my phone kept cutting on me, the bolts weren't going through, which these are carriage bolts. They're really nice and thick. I'm gonna take this part off. They're 5x16, I think it was. Hold on. Yeah, 5x16. So these are actually really, really nice. And a washer, so when I go to put this underneath it, it won't split the wood, which was actually a really, really great idea that Snacks had. So, thank you, big guy. But when I was doing a test run today, one of the sides kept getting stuck no matter what I did, no matter everything I tried everything it seemed to get it to unstuck itself, and it didn't work. So I ended up just drilling the holes a little bit bigger, not by a lot, but just a little bit, and then I sanded it. I sanded the holes with a rolled up piece of sandpaper. It's kind of thin. I actually cut this one in half, like long ways in half, so it made it a little bit easier to work with. But I'm really hoping both sides slip in properly without any problems, because I don't think I can stand to do this again. Like, this side fits in perfect. The bottom goes in smoothly. Like, super simple. Like, superly duperly stupendously simple. Before I put the top one on, actually, let me put the top one on first to make sure. So basically, same thing. I had to drill the holes just a little bit bigger and then sanded them down. And the top part would be your bottom for this, and then this would be your actual top part. But this was actually an idea that I saw another artist do. Ah! It worked! Ah! Perfect! Anyway, it's a little off, but you know what? It works groovy cakes for me. Now let's like... Oh, oh, oh! Ah! That's so freaking perfect! Awesome cakes! Okay, so I can actually go through with the other part. Ah! That's awesome! I'm so happy now. Victory! Anyway, I have these little plushy squares, the soft Velcro side of a Velcro strip. I actually found these in one of my art boxes. I know Snacks has the same exact kinds, but I had these since I was living with my brother, actually. I used it for an erasable marker set that I had. But anyway, back to the main thing. I'm just so glad this worked. Oh my god, I'm so happy. No, you're doing it again to me. Why are you being so mean to me, YouTube? How dare you, meanie bobini? Anyway, there's an artist I used to watch a lot. She actually gave me a lot of good ideas, and I used her as a lot of references and stuff like that. Aw, you son of a bean burrito. Anyway, there's another artist. There was an artist that I used to watch a lot of back in like 2016, 2015. And she made a paper press, but for books, which is kind of what inspired this idea, or like where I got this idea from. Because she makes books and stuff like that. And I actually really thought it was a cool idea, so I kind of I watched some of her videos when I was making a few book bindings. There's where I was looking for book bindings. So she made a book press for her book bindings, so it was a lot easier for her to get a even coat, and all the paper was flat and all even and stuff like that. So it was a really cool thing that she made, and I'm like, I actually kind of want to make one of these. At the time, I couldn't because of the person that I was living with, unfortunately, which, if you go way back to my older videos, you'll see that it was just not at all a good living situation. It was horrendous. I hated it. I could not stand it. But now that I'm in a far better place, I can actually do these kinds of projects and be happy about it. So basically what she did was that she used, I think it was cutting boards? Like wooden cutting boards, kind of like the thick cutting boards, which is okay, but I didn't like that idea. I kind of wanted to use something else, and then when Snacks took off the cabinet doors, these were just sitting in the art closet for forever, it seemed. Like, I didn't think I was gonna oops. I don't like how it's a little off balanced, but I'm pretty sure I can make something for that too. But they were just sitting in the art closet along with like two other sets or another set, something like that. Yeah, I was like two. Yeah, that would be classified as a cabinet door too, just not fully done. But I just finally said, you know what, I'm gonna actually put these to use. So the original idea for these doors is that I was gonna paint them with like different anime references and stuff like that. So I don't know, it just seemed like a cool idea at the time. But then I started making paper again, which I started last year, roughly 20, yeah, 2021, 2022, somewhere around in there. So it's been a hot while since this even came into my head, kind of thing, of using. But I kind of had the idea, instead of me using a thick book for all of this, which is what I was using, was a thick book to press down the paper so it would be all flat. The only problem is that some of the like the big pieces, which you guys possibly or can't speak again, crap, that you guys saw in the first video of the paper making, is one of the decks is like an extra large, and it didn't fit underneath the big book, but this fits the extra large very well. Like, basically from where these tabs are being placed at, it fits perfectly. So I did the measuring out and stuff like that before I even went through with any of the ideas and stuff like that with Snack's help and stuff. I'm like, you know what? This would actually be the perfect press. One problem. I can't have it. Like, I could have done it separately and I didn't have to go through any of this. Excuse me. But I also didn't want to take that risk of either me possibly smacking my leg into the table and it shifting over, and there goes all that paperwork. Like, all that work on the paper and stuff, and just having all flop willy-nilly. Or just something. Just some random what-if scenario. Just, I make 100 of those things and go, yep, nope, this is a better idea. But, I pushed you too far back. And now you are, hi, baby. Duncan came in to greet me with his, or to grace me with his presence again. But I could have just I'd be fine. But like, I did all the measuring out with the deck and stuff like that, with the paper deck and stuff. I'm like, okay, this fits perfectly. This would be totally fine for everything else. I just now need the tools. So I started to just, me being me, started to like spitball ideas. I'm like, these are all really great and stuff, but I know I can do better. I know I can find better and all that goodness. And I remembered, well, there was an artist that did the same exact thing, except hers is like way better done, but she's also, just gonna turn this over because I got the majority of that done. And it sucks because I keep doing this to myself. There you go. And I remembered that she had a video that she did showing how she made a book press instead of a paper press, but it still has um the same concept. And these little felt pieces that I cut in half, they're gonna take a little bit to dry, so it's like kind of just turn the camera to me because can't really do much right now except for explain that and all that. But I rewatched the video. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that is way better. It's way easier. It's so much more simple, or like way simpler than what I was going to do. So it's like, well, I'm just gonna use her idea, but tweak it a little bit so it's like a little bit better in a way. Not really better. That sounded wrong, but like turn it so it could be more for like paper pressing and not book pressing, even though I could still use this as a book press if I ever decided to get back into making books again and uh wanting to like have an even distribution of like the glue and stuff like that instead of doing like four pieces then going, oops, well the glue slipped through and well now I'm kind of screwed, now I can't use this kind of thing, which now I'm thinking about it, that would be a really good backup plan just in case, but right now this is mostly just going to be for uh pressing down the paper so it's nice and flat and even and all that stuff instead of using a really thick book, like a thick book and going, okay, cool, this is gonna be fine, everything's gonna be okay, and then me going, well, the paper's too big and the book is like literally missing like this much from the edge, so the edge is still kind of crinkling through, or like it's still like rolling up a little bit. It's not a lot, but like you could tell a little bit on the corners, like, hi baby, what you doing? Duncan, what you doing, silly butt? Nothing, okay. He started to play with the paper shredder. I'm like, what are you doing, silly butt? But yeah, and then plus if I hit my leg on the table or something like that, or if I hit my hip on the table, it would like shift over, so it's like I don't want that. I need something sturdy, and like I said before, or like I was saying earlier, like these have been sitting in the art closet for a few months now, so it's like I might as well put it to use. It's like how it's, well, I will show you that in a second. But once the felt pieces, I'm gonna veer back into this for a second. Once the little felt pieces are dried and sturdy and stuff like that, I also have wing nuts, which are a little stiff, unfortunately. Like it is a super snug fit, but it'll get the job done. It's all 8 by 16. It's all 5 by 16. But little wing nuts. They're actually something I used at one point for an old art project when my dad gave me just random parts he wasn't like using anymore. So it was like, cool. So I use this as like Thor's hat at one point, or you know, little characters. Anyway, but wing nuts I was going to put on top of them, or at least on top of the other door piece. I was to say panel piece, but the other door, along with another one of the washers, so it's again an even pressure instead of it possibly cracking through the wood and then me being out of this until God knows how long ago. Oh, well, there goes that paper press, even though it's super easy to make. It's the fact I already have it halfway done and then something happening, which again was another great idea of Snacks, even though I feel bad for me not thinking about it, even though she had it in her video, and my brain still just went, I'm not gonna need these extra parts. All I need is one of the carriage screws, and although the only thing I was thinking is that the only thing I'm gonna need is two carriage screws, two washers, and two wing nuts. That's it. Well, Snacks kind of pointed out some issues. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So I agreed with his idea. So I have the carriage bolts with a washer underneath, so it's more even. So when there is pressure, it won't break through the wood. Even though this is pretty sturdy wood, it's just gonna suck when the paint starts peeling away a little bit. But it'll just give it more character as it goes on. And then have a washer on top for the wing nuts, so when that gets tight, then I don't have to worry about again the wood splitting or anything like that. So, cool and upsides. I'm actually happy about this. But this was the video I was trying to do today. Which it was actually a really great first run too, because like, okay, outside of me having to re-drill the holes, sanding them down, and stuff like that. Outside of that, there was actually some funny jokes being thrown in there, and me calling Snacks a complete smarty pants because he pulled the "I told you so" card a few times and just peed my butt. So that's what I wanted to start the day off with while it was still daytime, shortly after he went to work, but that obviously didn't work today, so I just kind of just let everything go, and then I just said, you know what, screw it. I'm going to start this series with, how much paper. That's a little toy car outside. I just heard something weird. I'm like, ooh, what the hell? But I started this series off with how much paper to put in a bowl, which I used a small, like a medium-ish bowl, small to medium bowl. Filled it up with paper, the paper shreds, the shredded paper, covered it with water, and showed that whole entire process. And I showed the paper screen dashboards. God, I can't speak right now. But I showed all of that, which is going to be brought back out tomorrow when I go to do the actual paper mixing or the paper making process itself. Yeah. But another thing, I'm also going to be working on tonight because it's only 10 something at the moment. It looks like 10:20 at the moment. I can't tell. The clock on the laptop is like really teeny tiny and I can't see that far. I'm nearsighted and farsighted, so I have glasses. Kind of sucks, but it's also kind of cool at the same time, but still really sucks. But for the drying process, I'm actually using one of my doodle boards that I have, so I'm not like leaning forward on the art table and going, oh god, I hurt, blah blah blah, all that good jazz. And I know it is in the video I just uploaded for the paper shredding, because I did a piece of Sunday, excuse me. Cucumber don't like me today. I shredded a piece of like the Sunday paper and stuff like that to show like doing it this way, like using a paper shredder is a little bit easier, especially if you can afford it. I would say go with that route because it is a lot easier instead of sitting there cutting it all up and trying to make confetti sized paper by hand. I can't do that. I tried it. I can't. Just after a while my hand starts to hurt, so I just cut that all out of my routine. But I'm going to be sanding these down, which these are actually a part of a cabinet me and Snacks found not too long ago that's actually getting reused for something better. But I'm going to cut these in half, sand them down, and then see how high, like how tall I need them to be. These aren't these aren't cabinet doors. Cabinet doors are like the insides of a cabinet door. I know it sounds weird. It's kind of like how this was hollow on the inside, like our actual cabinet doors were hollow on the inside. Actually, I don't know why I'm freaking saying it like that, because I have another part of the cabinet doors right next to me. So this is the face. Like, this is what the red ones look like before I painted them, which they actually do look nice. I just had something really big planned for the ones I have now. But the cabinet that we have in the library currently, which is the living room with a ton of books that I call it the library because it has like library feel. But this whole centerpiece is missing. So those doors were made to have like glass or plexiglass or something in the center. But whoever had it put these in there and it just looked so and they actually kind of fit. No, they don't. They're actually a little bit bigger. But yeah, these are like part of a cabinet door. These are the legit cabinet doors that we had hanging up in our kitchen. Oops. Sorry, I swear to God, I wasn't attacking you. But I was gonna like either cut these down or cut the blue ones down and have them prop up my art board, which I've actually shown this a few times, especially on my art fix up playlist, which is this guy. Oops. Which is this guy, because there's a little sticker some of you have possibly seen, which is just an arrow pointing towards me, so I know when I'm doodling to have it to have that part pointing at me. This was actually part of the mini table that I currently have in the art bathroom. This was on the bottom for like extra shelving and stuff like that, but instead I repurposed it as a extra doodle board so I could like, again, not lean over the table and go like, oh, I'm so tired. Or possibly having my head knock into the phone and going, well, there goes all that hard work. So it just like, it makes it easier for me to just like lean back, relax, and like do what I have to do and say, be like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like, get all up in there, like, what am I doing? Kind of thing. I know you still see bored, but yeah, just like this, like bored in my feet kind of thing. So it made it easier. It makes it a whole lot easier to do art projects now. But when I'm not using that for art projects, I actually use that to prop up the wet paper to have it drying, or to have it drying while it's in front of a mini heater that I have. That, again, Snacks thought it was a very good deal to get while we were at, I think it was Walmart. I think we're in the clearance aisle, so it was fairly cheap and really well worth it. And it even has like a cool little light on top of it. So, but the one that I had, the one that we had was kind of flickering on me. Like, it at one point, if I like hit the little heater just a little bit, it would just start putting out cold air. I'm like, I need hot air to dry the paper, not cold air. This works so much better. I actually have it propped up on uh a little box that Stax's mom found us. She ordered a few things for us, and some of the stuff that she ordered had like these cute little boxes. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna throw these out. I could reuse them for something, and I ended up reusing it to put the mini heater on top of it, so it was like a lot more even, like height wise with the paper. So I'm gonna end up cutting these down and like prop the board up on it and go, okay, this is about right for the height. I want to say I'm probably only gonna need like 3 pieces maybe. The board doesn't need to be that uh it doesn't need to be propped up that high, but like just enough so it's on like a decent angle kind of thing. But yeah. I'm probably gonna end up sanding it down first and then doing that. I don't really know just yet. I'm more than likely just gonna cut it, or wait till tomorrow so I can cut it outside instead of having more instead of having more wood shavings and stuff in the house. Because I didn't think about it when I was re-drilling the holes, but like my leg and the table was just covered in sawdust. I'm like, I don't want to do that again, so I'm just gonna wait until tomorrow to do it outside, especially if it's not raining. If it's not raining, I'll be so happy. But oh no, the Revenge of the Yawns. But that's definitely a tomorrow project. There's actually gonna be a few things going on tomorrow, but that's probably gonna be like one of my off-camera things because the neighbors around here are so freaking nosy. It's like, why do I even bother? But if I have headphones on, I can't hear any of them talking and trying to get my attention for some random bullshit because I just don't like our neighbors. Just the ones. Just the ones. I'm getting a little bit better with the ones next to us on this side, which is on the art studio side. Like we kind of made our peace kind of thing. It's like whatever, just look, I don't talk to you, you don't talk to me if anything bad actually happens cuz we dropped something outside and he's like, "Yo, you okay? Do you need help?" I'm like, "No, we're good. Just didn't put it on the grass properly kind of thing." So it's like we kind of we have that going on now between us, but the other ones I just want to strangly angly so bad. I can't. I can't. But that's definitely like in headphone kind of thing, so that's not going to be recorded, but it will be like like sanding it down might be a part of the video, like part of the videos, but I'm not really too sure just yet. But yeah, I'm just really happy that this actually worked out a lot better. These are actually almost dried. See, this is the reason why I love super glue or Gorilla Glue, because it's dry time and less the time. But I'm still gonna wait until tomorrow to put the top on it, along with along with everything else. But I'm really glad I actually got some of these videos done today, because I was getting a little concerned that I wasn't gonna be able to do some of the videos that I wanted to do. But yay! I'm happy with how it's turning out. And then when I'm ready to like actually put the rest of it together, I'll definitely I'm probably gonna throw this, like when I put the top on and the rest of the parts to it. When I do this, it might actually be a part of me draining out the it might actually be a part of the paper draining video, like me squeezing out all the moisture from the paper and turning that into pulp and stuff like that, which that is going to be loud. So I'm just going to have a big warning in the beginning of that video tomorrow of very loud noises, blender working. So if you have this blaring in your headphones or something, don't do that. Just very now warning, just there will be more loud noises tomorrow in the next video. But until then, but I think that's probably what's going to end up happening is like after I'm done straining out the the shredded paper and then getting that turned into pulp and stuff like that, I'm probably going to just put the top to this, put that in its place, because where the phone is at currently is actually where I'm probably going to end up putting it. But I'm not too sure just yet. If I do, I'm going to have to redo the art table again and go from there. But I don't know just yet. Oh, holy crapoli. Everything will get figured out by tomorrow or tomorrow morning, or like every other video that I do, it's like all getting figured out on the fly, because I never know what I'm doing, and it just makes it more fun for me and everybody else, because I never know what I'm doing. But yeah, until then though, guys, I will see you tomorrow in the next paper making process video thing, question mark? I don't know. This I don't know. This has just been a thing of things. But I will definitely see you guys tomorrow. Probably the same bat time, same bat channel. Just you never know. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night, guys.